Hi, I'm Valerie Holden. Welcome to my video. And I'm calling this video the Bossy Woo Overview. And I'm going to be explaining how I work with my clients and a little bit about my program. And my program, just to let you know, is innovative because nobody else does it the way I do. And it's transformative. My clients get huge transformations in their life, different areas of their life. So before I start, this is video one. There'll be future videos that go more in depth on the specifics of different parts of the program. So I want to make sure you get those follow-up videos. So on YouTube, there's a little button that says subscribe. Go ahead and find that button and click that so you'll be notified when future videos are uploaded. And I'll wait for just a second while you do that. Okay, great. Let's get started. Before I go into the program, let me tell you a little bit about my background so you'll understand why I'm doing this. First, I had a career for 20 years as a police officer. I loved it. Where else can you drive around and talk to people all day? Among other things. But it was fun. I got to be out with people, and not all police work is hard work and arresting people. A lot of it is teaching people things, helping people with things, and that really touched my heart. But there was something inside telling me that I was supposed to be doing something else, and I didn't really know what that was. I felt like maybe I wasn't living my purpose. So I started searching, doing other trainings, and I got into the alternative health field, learning hypnosis and Reiki, becoming a Reiki master, massage therapy, sound healing, all these different modalities. And I would do those a little bit while I still had my career. Once I retired from the police force, I started my hypnosis business. And I did traditional hypnosis, which stopping smoking, weight loss, things like that. But I also did what I call spiritual hypnosis. And that was a form called quantum healing, which included past life regression and also connecting with the client's higher self, where we would get information from the higher self. And what was happening was it seemed like my clients were having the same questions mostly over and over when we would do the quantum healing. And the questions that they had were, am I living my purpose? Am I on the right path? Is my job or career the right one for me? Is that my purpose? And then they also wanted to know about their relationships, and they wanted to know about their health. And the purpose was very interesting to me. In most cases, I would usually have between 1 and 3 sessions. And what would happen is, yes, the clients would get answers, but then what would they do with it? I wasn't set up at that time to actually continue with the client and actually get them to that point where they were achieving the things that came in the answers when they were in a session. So that's why I created Bossy Woo. And when I first created Bossy Woo, the Bossy Woo part was really just for me. It was a description of how I was going to work with my clients. Because in addition to the police officer, I had a job as a flight attendant and I had a job as a UPS driver for a while. And those jobs sort of got to be bossy because you have to tell people what to do. Flight attendant, sit down, put your seatbelt on, put the mask on yourself before you do somebody else. UPS, you're running up with a little clipboard sign here on your back. Police officer, you're telling people what to do. So that's why I was phrasing it bossy. And with my coaching, I was going to be able to tell my clients what to do as I'm mentoring them. The woo part is I do a lot of spiritual work, connecting with higher self, tapping into intuition, all that's spiritual work. So that's what I call the woo. And as I was going to work with my clients, the woo part would be, yes, teaching them the spiritual part, but also as we're working together, they might hit a block or a wall, and there I am to hold them in that place to either help them move along or help them get over it. Or when they are feeling stuck, they've got somebody to talk to, and we'll get through it together. So bossy and woo. Perfect. But then as I was thinking about it, it's not just what I do. We all have bossy woo. We all have that inner strength. We all have the confidence. We all have self-awareness. Plus, we have that spirituality. Problem is, we're many times we don't have the confidence. We're having fears or something's holding us back. And so the Bossy Woo program is bringing all that out. So when somebody is at that level where they've achieved their bossy woo-ness, you walk into a room and everybody knows you're there because you just emanate self-confidence. And people, who is that person? They want to know who you are because you just sort of glow. You have that aura about you. And so working with this program gets you to that place. So there are 8 areas that we work on during the program, and they're in no particular order. I'm just going to go through those right now. So the first one is career or business, job. Do you love what you're doing for work? Whether it's your own business, whether it's a job that you're in. It's probably a career. Some people job hop, but most people settle into a field. Do you like it? Is this the one for you? I had a client who had been in a job for a long time, and she loved the people. She liked the work that she did, but she had been there so long that she was just getting burnt out. And she thought she needed to leave that place and go find another job. But working with me, she ended up getting the confidence where she went to her manager and explained the situation to the manager and said, I really don't want to leave, but this is what's happening. And the manager actually listened, and she's in the process of possibly creating a whole new job description for herself at that same place. Whereas before, she just went to work every day, came home, not really thrilled with it anymore. And here, now she's excited because she's looking at something new, and all it took was working on herself to get that confidence so she could approach her manager. Hopefully, she'll have that new job soon. The next category is relationships, and this is romantic relationships. Do you have a loving relationship with a romantic partner? And if not, why not? First of all, let's figure out, is this the right partner? But many times the relationship is not as we would like it because there's something inside us that we need to work on, whether it's fear from past experiences or who knows what the situation is. But once we work on ourselves and improve ourselves, that can greatly improve a relationship. What was interesting when I had that question, most of the clients that were asking about how they could improve their relationship was men. And it wasn't, is this the right relationship for me? It was actually, what can I do to make it better? That was very interesting. So just think about that. Ladies, your men really want to know what they can do to make relationships better. So just a tip, let them in. Okay. Oh, another one. One of my clients was working so much that he did not have time for his romantic relationship. And even his kids, that's not romantic, that's another category. But he was just working all the time. And after working with me, he figured out he really wasn't in the right job. He was working 3 jobs just to support his family. And he went out and got some training, and he actually started doing coaching on his own with his own clients. and was able to make his business. So he now only had one job that he had to do, which freed him up to have time with his family, to have time for his romantic relationship, time for his kids. Okay. Next, how's your health and well-being? That's the next category. Are you in good health? And that is mentally, physically, and spiritually. Spiritually is another category. So right now, let's concentrate on mental and physical. How are you doing? Do you have stress and anxiety? You need to relieve that. What could be some ailments that you have? Let's get those taken care of. I had a client who came to me because she was getting anxious all the time. And we did a sound healing session, just one. And she wrote me a long text later saying it wasn't what she expected. She thought maybe we'd do a Reiki session, but during the session, she actually felt her cells changing. And she also felt like she had this bubble that was around her, and she still feels that way. There's this bubble surrounding her that any negative energy, any stress just bounces off that bubble. And it was just from one healing session. Amazing. Okay, next category, money. This is a big one for people. How are your finances? There's different types of money. There's income. Are you making as much as you want to? Savings. Do you have as much money in savings as you'd like? Debt. How much debt do you have? Remember, people say there's good debt and bad debt. So how much bad debt do you have? And then there's toxic money, money that you have that may have some kind of negative connotation to it. And we dive into that if you have that in your life. We get money blocks if our income isn't where we want it to be, if our savings isn't where we want it to be, if we have too much debt. We have money blocks. All of a sudden, we can't earn what we want, or we have too much debt and can't get rid of it. During Bossy Woo, you're going to have Bossy Woo money where you break through all those blocks and start earning what you want. Another category, personal and spiritual growth. Are you growing personally? What are you doing? Maybe taking some classes, learning new things. That helps us grow personally. What are you doing spiritually? Are you meditating? Are you taking any kind of spiritual classes? For people who like to go to church, are you actually doing that and learning spiritually that way? Do you know how to tap into your intuition? That's a spiritual connection with our higher self, with the universe, with God. I know when I started doing my spiritual work, I knew when I was tapping into my intuition. One of the ways is when it first started, it felt like I had angel wings just like hugging me and rubbing on my arms. And that helped me know that was a sign I was on the right track. The more I developed and it became just automatic, I started getting chills. I get chills on my legs. I get chills on my whole body when I'm really on the right track. Also, sometimes I just have ideas pop into my head, or working with clients, things will just come out of my mouth and I have no idea where it came from. That's because it's the universe, my higher self, giving me those answers. That's my spiritual connection that just keeps me on track. And we can do that for you as well. You'll learn how the best way to tap into your intuition, so you get those messages, so it gets you on the right path, so you can live your purpose. Okay, next one, physical environment. Do you love where you live? When you come home after a long day, do you just won't go in the house and say, oh, I'm so glad to be home? You have all these things in your home that mean something to you, or you have your pets that have some meaning. So when you get home, it's your sanctuary. You can just leave everything at the door. Or when you come home, it's like, it's not inviting. You don't even really want to be there. Let's get your environment so it's perfect for you, so you want to come home. Work, how's your work environment? Sometimes we can't change it, but you could do something as simple as maybe bringing a plant or a little plaque or something that means something to you to spruce up your work environment. How about your family and friends? Do you have a good relationship with your brothers, sisters, parents, cousins, other relatives? How is that? Remember the gentleman I told you who went from 3 jobs to one? He was able to have a better relationship with his kids just because of making that change. And the last but not least category is fun and recreation. Are you having fun? Do you go out and do fun things? Whether it's going out and hiking, that also could help with your physical health, but something that is fun. You can't work all the time. That causes too much stress. You got to go out and have fun. Are you doing that? We'll make sure you do. Because remember, having fun is a stress reducer. You can't be serious all the time. So all those different categories, you can have huge transformations. Again, I'll go back to the gentleman that had 3 jobs, made them into one. He actually hit pretty much every area. His relationships, his job or career, his health, because now he wasn't stressed having to go from job to job. The relationships with his romantic relationship, his wife, and his kids. And now he had more time for fun and recreation. So working through this program can improve every area of your life. So as I was going through all those categories, what did you come up with when I asked you the questions? Do you love your job? Is it the right career? Do you have good relationships? How is your health? How is all that stuff? When you're thinking about that, which ones do you need to work on? I would love to talk to you and see where you are in your life. If you think you need to change, or you know you need to change, reach out to me. I have what I call a clarity call. It's just a real short 30-minute call where we get to talk and find out, where are you now? What are your dreams? Where do you want to be? And let's see if working together is your next best step. So down below is a link for you to click on. It just says clarity call, tiny URL, clarity call, and just get you scheduled. I would love to talk to you and see where we can go from there. And remember, I've got future videos coming up that's going to go more into detail on different aspects of the program. So watch for those. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope to talk to you soon. Thank you. Have a bossy woo day. Take care.